Hi, my name is Stephanie Kraft, and this video is about twin flames and soulmates, and it's in response to Matt Kahn's recent video on redefining the terms twin flames and soulmates. And I'm not here to bash Matt Kahn. I have no interest in doing that. The reason I'm making this video is to explain my perception of what twin flames are and what soulmates are. And it's not just my perception, it's my experience, it's what I've lived, and it's what I have worked with my clients and many, many sets of twin flames. And so first I'll talk about the work that I've done with souls to come to the understanding that I have today. And of course, the understanding that I have is constantly evolving. I don't think that there's any human with a full comprehension of the nature of souls. And so I'm currently writing a book on twin flames. So I'll be putting out a video when that is being published. So if you want to know about that, subscribe to my channel and then you'll find out when that book comes out. So I've received information about souls in work that I do, which is called Life Between Lives Hypnotherapy. That is based on the work of Dr. Michael Newton, who wrote Journey of Souls, Destiny of Souls, and Life Between Lives Hypnotherapy. And I've been doing that work for about 8 years now, and those sessions, the client is guided into their soul state, and they basically are channeling their soul and getting a lot of information that we are not privy to from our conscious mind. And so some of the information that I've gathered about souls comes from those sessions with people who are with soulmates, people who are twin flames, and I will define twin flame in a moment. But I've also received information from my own personal sessions under hypnosis as well as through other means from higher dimensions. So along with knowing a lot of twins. And I am myself a twin flame. The term twin flame could also be used interchangeably with twin soul, twin ray, and we all come from the one, God, source, whatever you want to call it, but that energy that is the creator of all. And it's very complex, but I can give some ideas about the way I see it. We are all one in the end because we all come from the same one, and yet we are created and we vary and we differ and express differently. Some of us are more closely related. So, for example, if there's a soul created that then through what we could call mitosis would then split and create more and more from the one larger soul or the monad. We could have the oversoul and the monad, and then souls are created from the bigger soul energy. Smaller souls will come down and be created from a bigger source. So we've got the God head, and then we've got fractionation coming down from God. So some of us are more closely related if we're coming down a certain ray, and then others down through another one. And so those two would be more distantly related coming from the one. But when we're talking about a soul group, let's talk about a soul group first. So we have many souls within a soul group. Soul groups can be overlapping, so you can be in more than one soul group. But the members of the soul group would be called soulmates, and how they express in a life and throughout lifetimes is varied. So it's all relationships that you have with people who are close to you, whether they are your family members, co-workers, friends, acquaintances. Most challenging relationships that you have as well are soulmates, enemies, things that will catalyze huge soul growth. There's an agreement there between soulmates. So soulmates are all kinds of relationships, romantic relationships, partners, spouses, any and all kinds that are closely related to you throughout a lifetime. A twin flame is a more closely related soul. So nowadays the definition is basically that a soul has split and divided the energy so that it's incarnated in two bodies. And when those two people meet, the intensity is far greater than when soulmates meet. And that's because they're more closely related, coming from the one. Soulmates are not coming from the same one. Eventually, higher and higher up, as you merge back into oneness, they are coming from the one, but it's way more distant than what a twin flame would be. A twin flame, twin ray, twin soul is a different facet of the one. So they might, I don't know all of the rules of what twin flames are, but I can give you the ideas around it. So I'll give you some examples. You can imagine a diamond with many facets, and the twin souls might be two different facets of the same diamond. So they're of the same one, and yet they have varying qualities, but they're very closely related and unified and connected for eternity. There's never a separation because of how closely they are related from coming down from creation. Now, soulmates differ because they're more distantly related. So they might be broken off from two different rays that then broke off, and then a bunch of them are pooled together into a soul group. So they're not coming from the same rays. They could be coming from different rays. Ultimately, again, it's coming from one greater, maybe oversoul. But a twin flame another example would be a ray of light, energy, and nodes along that same ray would be called twin souls because they're of the same cloth. So another example would be the Russian dolls that are stacked within each other. They're identical, and they're coming from within the one. Just like a cell which goes through mitosis, or even in the case of human twins, they begin as the same cell, and that cell divides. They're more closely related than siblings that are not coming from the same cell. This is a twin flame. And so the people who call themselves twin flames really didn't have a belief in the twin flame notion before they met their twin. There's a lot of misconception out there. A lot of the comments on Matt Kahn's video are attacking those of us who have commented who say we're twins because they don't understand. And it's the reason we say that they don't understand is because we've lived this journey, this experience, which is very different from a soulmate. And the way that we know this is that all of our lives we have been having relationships with soulmates. There's no twin that I've ever met, and I've met many, who ever had a concept, notion, or desire to meet a twin flame before they did. Many of them met their twin and still didn't know the title twin flame. They didn't understand what they were going through until they happened upon information that spoke to them and guided them through it. and they realized, oh, this is a twin flame union. So a twin flame union is because it is unified. Even though the cell, let's talk in terms of a cell, has split like this, they're identical in energy signature. Twin flames have the same higher self. They share the same higher self. They share the same soul. They are completely unified. There is no separation. Yes, they are incarnated in two bodies, but the reason that twins talk about the intensity of the experience is that they know that they're interacting with another one of them in another body. It's different with soulmates. Now, there are a lot of soulmate relationships that are incredibly intense, that do feel like a twin flame experience because of the synchronicities and the telepathy and the connection, and it can be mind-blowing between soulmates. I've had these experiences with soulmates. But then when you meet a twin, the experience is exponential in cosmic experiences. So that's the reason that we say if you're a soulmate and you've never met your twin, you wouldn't understand. It's not because we're high and mighty. It's because we've lived our lives knowing soulmates, and then we've met the twin, and then we know the difference. That's all. It's not something that we can easily explain to another person to understand, and we know that because we've been on the other side before we met our twin. And we know that words cannot express to another who hasn't had this experience the richness and the fullness of the experience. So it's an example like if I know somebody who has been to Africa, I have not, and they come back and they say, Stephanie, the air is different there. The quality of the air, the fragrance, the sunsets, we've never seen color like that here. The vegetation, and they try to explain it, and they describe it in the most tangible ways that they can possibly get across, and I can say, wow, that sounds amazing. I can imagine it, but I can't feel it, and I can't know it, and I haven't seen it, and I really don't know. But I wouldn't attack them for saying it's something that you wouldn't understand, Stephanie, because you've never experienced. I would appreciate that they have had an experience that I have not had, and I can't get it, but I'm not going to be angry at them for saying the words. It's not something you would understand unless you've experienced it. So when twin flames say or post comments like that, please don't get offended. We don't want to offend anyone. All of the twins that I've ever met are the most extremely high vibrating, conscientious, loving, caring souls. And we know that how it looks. We know what it sounds like to say, you can't understand this. But it's just the truth. I cannot explain to somebody what mint chocolate chip ice cream tastes like if they've never had it, and I could go on about the qualities of the flavor that go through your mouth, but you cannot. If you've never had any ice cream, you really wouldn't understand what it's like. So it's not a judgment, it's not an attack, it's simply an experience. Twin flames is not a belief. We do not believe in this concept. We are this. We know this. We live this. We experience this. It is not a belief in twins. So twins are born for this experience. And the decision to split the soul happens before birth. And so those of us who have done this, split our soul to come in as two separate people, we are born with under circumstances which will play out throughout our lifetimes, so that when we come together or when we meet, we are catalysts for each other for growth. And the whole reasoning behind this, I could go on and on about that, and maybe I will, but I want to just clarify the difference. And people are saying that labels don't matter. Let's drop the labels. It doesn't matter what we are, but it does matter what we are. Matt Kahn spent 1 hour and 31 minutes on a video talking about labels, redefining labels. His whole video was about labels. Well, he did get it wrong. He does not know what a twin flame is because he's never experienced it. He's experienced all soulmate relationships. Now, why does it matter to distinguish between soulmates and twin flames? It matters because the difference is huge. The difference matters when you've lived through something that is incredibly intense and incredibly different from anything you've ever experienced. And twins are on the planet right now for a purpose and a mission. Less than 1% of the human population is a twin flame. So this video will not resonate with most people on the planet. It just won't. If you are in the less than 1% and you've met your twin, it will resonate. And that's about the only people that this video will resonate with, period. And it doesn't matter, and there's nothing else we can say or do to convince you, and it doesn't matter. We don't care if you don't understand, and we know you don't understand. And we know we'll be attacked for saying things like, you won't understand unless you've lived it. It doesn't matter. But to us, the words matter because it's distinguishing an enormous difference in a life experience. That's what it comes down to. And people do want to be understood. They want to be heard. They want to be validated. They want to be counted in their beingness, in what they are. I'm born into this life as a twin. And words can't express the impact, because what happens with twins is that the journey begins before meeting. It happens for many, many years, an entire lifetime. We have experiences in the etheric plane together before meeting. Most of us do. We have experiences in our sleep time. I tasted what my twin was putting in his mouth before I ever met him. Things like this happen. We find out later, oh, that was what that was. It's a very unusual experiences that happen between twins. And so I guess that I wanted to explain the difference between twins and soulmates, but I have so much more to talk about. Obviously, I'm writing a book about this, and I have a lot of information that I wanted to share, and I don't know how to do I don't know how to do video editing. Obviously, I would edit out my coughing. And so I'm going to cut this short for now. I'm going to stop the video. This will, if I remember all the other things that I wanted to talk about, I will post another video as a part 2 and so on. But I just wanted to get this out. And I don't even know if I said everything I wanted to say because I've had like 10 million things about this topic to say. But for now, I will leave you with that, and hopefully it will clarify maybe some things and help you understand why this is kind of a big deal. See you soon.